Well, as we mentioned, we are the Tesla Fish Farming Group, and we are going to show to you now how our solution to the fungal infection in fish in Nigeria is the most practical and effective, and how Shehu will revolutionize his business and the entire community.
A little bit of background from Shehu. Shehu produces about 2,500 fish per harvest. He has 2 harvests every year. It's a supply for about protein for the Nigerians, and it's a great way to keep it healthy.
Alright, so here's the decision matrix. Basically what we use this for to see which problem was worth the most that we should have addressed. So we had all these brainstormed problems that we came up with, and we put it against the constraints, or like a criteria, and basically we judged it out of a rank of 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the lowest. And we found out that preserving young fish after hatching is the most critical problem that we should address. So
now for the issue. The eggs that are excreted by the female tend to be infected by a fungus. This causes the death of many newly hatched fish. Up to 200 to 500 fish die per every 1,000 fish. This can be up to a 50% loss in revenue.
In the pie chart, the red represents the dead fish and the blue represents the alive fish. If Shehu takes in around 1,000 fish and half of them die, and that's his loss, and then other half that survive as his profit. So that's the worst case scenario. The best case scenario would be that only 200 out of 1,000 fish were lost, and then 80% of the profit would be his gain, and then the 20% would be his loss. But our goal is to get that under 1%.
Within our research, we found out that if you gradually raise the acidity of the water, it decays the fungi from growing. Hatchlings should be kept within 3 to 6 inches of water. We've also found a chemical solution as well as a natural solution. Catfish are opportunistic feeders and can adapt well within the waters.
So usually what would happen is that you would breed the fish, and of course you would get the eggs, but then they would have the fungal infection. So 50 or like 500, 200 fish would die out of every 1,000 that we said earlier. Now, what we would normally do if we were to apply this solution was that we would put these eggs, we would separate them from anything else. We'd like put them in a bucket, fill that with 3 to 6 inches of the water, as he said, and we would add something into the water that would allow the pH to lower, or making it more acidic. Now, once that would happen, that would remove the fungus, because fungus can't survive in an acidic area. So the main problem is, how do we lower that pH? Well, what we had decided to look at was methylene blue. This, there's like a couple advantages. First off, it's very cheap, or like at least inexpensive. For example, like we found that 4 fluid ounces of it could cost about like 15.08 US dollars. And it's very common. We could find it in the university that's listed above, that's near the state. It's reliable, meaning like it'll consistently work each time. Its pH will not fluctuate or anything. The pH is always going to stay the same, and it's always effective. It's always going to work correctly. It's completely safe for the fish before anything happens. The chemicals are completely safe for the fish, and pet owners commonly use it for all the types of fish eggs.
Now, if for some reason Shehu decides that a chemical solution is not feasible for his business, there are also natural ways to lower the pH of the water. These include Indian almond trees, which are commonly found in Nigeria, often called by a local name. And these are used by people in Southeast Asia to lower the pH and prevent fungal infection. It is called the poor man's conditioner. So it has worked in the past, and it can work in Nigeria. Driftwood and peat are also rich in components that lower pH.
In conclusion, tackling the fungal problem will drastically improve Sheyu's business, decrease vitamin D deficiency, and also make people healthier. As the graph shows, the solution is most practical.
Thank
It will
you.
help Shehu to be able to. It will help
Great
Shehu.
job, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, real quiet. Keep moving through. Khalifa.
Great presentation, great idea. So pragmatic that people at the grassroots can easily use it. I think I love you providing two solutions to the problem. One, the acidic, and the other one is natural. If you cannot get this one, you can go for the other one, which is good for the business. And also, I think I can ascertain the fact that the university nearby, Wakataba Balewa University, is having a very big fish fund and also using the same thing you propose to the business owners. I think it's a very good solution, and I think you've done a great job.
Thank you.
So you're one of those teams who never wasted a second here. And everybody, I mean, so everyone knows they made handouts that weren't, hey, 2 words, it's a page. You copied a page and made it 4 times. Being a leader, it takes a long time to become a leader, to get stuff done. It's repetitive. You have to do the worst stuff along with the fun stuff. And you guys did all of it. You guys went, go back to your first slide for me real quick.
I think I love the fish. Why the fish?
Keep going, yeah. Look at it. You drew that, right?
I photoshopped that fish.
Yeah. You guys didn't play video games. You guys worked the entire time you were here, and it shows. Everything about your presentation shows that. Very impressive ideas. I really loved all of it. Great job.
I know somebody else like that who makes all the extra effort all the time, which is Marshall. No, your presentation definitely reminded me of something that he would do, and I think it was really, really great.
Thank you.
That's a beautiful fish.
He photoshopped like 3 different ones, and he tried to pick which one was like the best.
You guys did a great job. I mean, I think that decision matrix. Who came up with that?
That was
I
me.
I thought that was great. I mean, what a way to really strategically identify areas that you need to work on. That's the organizations that use that all the time to identify specific problems and try to go for it instead of running around trying to figure out what's going on, which one do we do first. So I thought that was a great idea also. You did a lot of research to help this individual find solutions, and I think that's something that you can continue to do. I think you can show him that there are ways to find solutions. He can, teach someone how to find and do some research. It's simple research that you did and you found solutions to them. The Tafawa Balewa University is right there. You identified some natural ways to do that. So I think as a business owner, you guys have to help him see ways that he can continue to do those researches to make his business better. As Marshall said earlier, being a leader is about leading, but also it's about teaching people how to find their own resources. So you can continue to do that. And that's great. Wonderful presentation.
Khalifa has one question real quick.
It's not a question. I also want to appreciate the academic approach to your own presentation. It makes a lot of sense to many people. Great job.
We wanted to make sure that our final solution was like very practical, making sure like everyone can be able to do it, especially in like the poor country of like Nigeria.
Yes.
Nice job, guys.
Join the Global Young Innovators Initiative. Transform the world. www.icantransformtheworld.org